Good afternoon, all. Camelback Trading 2724 and thepitfuturestrading.com. Coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, March 24th, looking at the last bunch of days in the market profile of the SPY ETF here on Window Trader. And a very violent bear market rally as the Dow closes up over 2,000 points, 11%, almost 9.5% on the S&P, 9% here for the SPY. Not unexpected. You get these type of rallies. It's a good day for the bulls. One, to put a feather in their cap in. Although, all we really did is put ourselves back in balance, but a huge baby step. Had a very large gap that held. Never saw the opening again after 8 time frame, which led to a really nice trade for me that I'll get to. Go out with a price probe as we make a new high in M period. I believe this will continue, at least for another day, as we have 3 daily highs right in sight here that I think should be easy pickings for the bulls to get. I said early this morning, if we open above L's high, below F's low, from the 20th, the price probe, price spike, I would look to get long around here, around right above L's low, short around F's low. Well, they didn't give me a chance for either. I'm glad we opened above F's low because didn't get an opportunity. I didn't want to short it once we did that, and we ran up pretty quickly. I did 5 trades today, all from the long side. One was in B period. When we came back in a bit, traded it back up. That was very nice. Another one in C, even though we balanced. I did a long in C period. H period. H period was very interesting. I thought once we had 2 sets of single prints, so we had a chance for a trend day up. H period only could take out E's high. So the odds, right? G, H, those are the periods. A lot of times the odds are if you're going to stop one time framing up or down, it's in those periods. So I had a feeling it would happen in G period, if not H. I was hoping, because at one time G period was still trading around the 240.5, 240.75 level. I was hoping for G to close there, open up so I can get a short, and then go down and look for the afternoon pullback low. But G didn't give me that opportunity. Came down, filled the one set of single prints. H opened, took out the single prints basically right away. So that was it on the short side. So H came down. I got long in H, small to start. Traded a couple of times inside of there. Then I period open. So H, 2 times I scalped calls in here. I still didn't think that was the afternoon pullback low. If I had opened and couldn't take out H's low, then I would have said, okay, if we start one time framing up, I'll get long that way. But I just was very patient. I was inside a good part of the period, then came out. As soon as it came out, I started getting long. And then I was looking for D's low to really start getting long more. And I was trading calls at the time and the ETF. I did both at the same time. And when J really flushed out below D, got to actually below my value low in the SPY, I got long the ETF, 300 shares, and got long more calls. And then I was looking for the afternoon pullback low. I didn't think we were going to get below the opening. We did not. Started going up. Was very patient with them and traded them all the way back up. Now remember, I'm in 16 or 17 tick increments, so it doesn't look as big. But J's low was 235.05, and J's high was 237.86. So it was over almost a $3 move back to the upside. Took off the ETF and some of the calls at POC, and then the rest between J's high and B's high. It turned out to be a very nice trade. And that was all I did on the day. Had a really, really gut feeling that the odds were that was the afternoon pullback low and that we would go out with a price probe. We did. But I just watched it the rest of the day. It turned out to be a very, very good day. Okay. As far as destinations go for tomorrow, our first destination on the upside will be 244.10, which is today's high. Then we have 244.47, so we just missed the high from the 20th. then 247.38 daily high, 248.37 daily high. So we have 4 daily highs within $4 of each other. In the past, I'd say, all right, that's not that, they're still pretty far apart from each other. But in this type of market, that's nothing. So I would imagine if we're able to take out today's high, we should get all 4 of those highs at some point tomorrow. Now, and another thing, once we got above F's high from the 20th, there was a vacuum, just an absolute vacuum up to the afternoon rally high, and then above that was the high from the 20th. Remember, price is going to seek its level, especially when it's being dominated by algorithms, right, and shorter-term traders. It's going to reach where the next destination is, and that's what it did all day today. And again, above those 4 highs I gave you, above that, then you do get another vacuum again. You have 250.34 wide from March 17th, 256.17 daily high, 256.90 weekly high, 257.10 wide from March 13th. So if we take out those 4 daily highs that I'm talking about, again, the mid 250s are very in reach also. For the downside, our first destination will be G's high, which was our price probe, 242.96. Now we closed at 243.15. So 242.96. Then below that, we don't have anything to the POC, which was 9 wide at 237.86. So 2 things about a day as good as today that you could say, okay, is a little negative. POC could never get raised after J period, even though we just absolutely ramped up in KL&M, stayed 9 wide. And the volume, although very good at 223 million, is below the 275 million that we're averaging. Even with the after hours, at best we'll do 230, 240. So this is going to be the first day on this entire move, probably from the highs, that we're doing under the average volume. Now, it's not surprising. At some point, we're going to have to start lightening up. Just happened to be on an up day, but it was still very good overall. Below the 9 wide, we have our afternoon pullback low, which turned out to be a beauty of a trade today at 235.05. And then we have today's low, of 233.80. And then filling the gap from yesterday at 229.39. That's a 441-point gap. And remember, we have some large gaps on the upside, but this is a really nice one that the bulls have to lean on. So that's very important. Now, let's get to the charts. Okay. So the monthly, obviously still down, one time framing down for 2 months. The good news, we got back inside December of 18's range for now, right? We only spent that one day, and we didn't even close in it, below that large balance from 2014 to 17. So that's a little feather in the cap. But again, this happens in bear market rallies. Weekly, one time framing down, 4 weeks, with still 3 days to go in this week. If we keep continuing, like I said, that 256.90 can certainly be in sight over the next 3 days. So maybe we stop the one-time framing down in the weekly. It would be nice, but that remains to be seen. And then on the daily, right, that's the one that has to turn. When you turn the ship around, you have to start somewhere when you're turning around a huge ship. So the shorter time frame, which is the daily, is going to be the one that starts turning the screws. Yesterday, we started a new leg down, but it only lasted 1 day, at least for now. For now. This gap is tremendous. That's very nice. We're basically in now a 5-day balance. So we can go to using the 228.02 low from March 18th as the low of that balance, and the 256.90. I'm sorry, well, you know what? I'm going to stay for now in a 4-day balance. So those 4 highs that I gave you, 248.37, so basically all of March 18th. 248.37 will be the high of this 4-day balance, 228.02 the low. Once we get above that high, then we start encompassing those 2 days up to that 256.90 level. So we'll take baby steps. We'll call it a 4-day balance. But overall, a very good day. Probably one of the biggest percentage gainers I think we've ever had on the upside. The one thing I don't agree with is I don't understand why you stop the market when we're down 7%, but you don't stop it when it's up 7%. It's just, it's like playing stickball when you were a kid, making up rules as you went along. You have to have some continuity here one way or the other. And my preference is no stops either way. Anyway, I hope you guys all had a good day. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.